This is a simple game. You throw the ball, you hit the ball, you catch the ball.
Hi, I'm Dan, and welcome back to another inning of the 80's Emporium, your home plate for everything 80's. While there's no shortage of sporting events in the United States, there's something special about baseball. The excitement of knowing that any swing could be a game changer. The feeling of being surrounded by fellow fans who love the game just as much as you do. The sweet smell of beer, hot dogs, peanuts, and Cracker Jacks. Today, in this updated episode, we're going to take an extensive look at baseball movies in the 1980s.
And this ball smashed is long.
Baseball grew as a sport throughout the early part of the 20th century, with the 1920s being considered its golden age due to the rise of a more offensive style of play. Stars like Lou Gehrig, Ty Cobb, and Babe Ruth graced the baseball diamond. While baseball has appeared in movies since the dawn of cinema, America experienced its first baseball movie boom from 1948 to 1958. In this period, nearly 20 baseball movies were made, most notably The Babe Ruth Story, Angels in the Outfield, and Damn Yankees. But in the 1970s, baseball began making a comeback in pop culture, and a huge historical moment came in 1974, when Hank Aaron beat Babe Ruth's long-standing home run record. Just as baseball had a triumphant return to the American consciousness, so did the baseball movie, with the major contributing factor being the Bad News Bears.
God, does that booger-eating spaz make me want to puke?
Released in 1976, The Bad News Bears starred Walter Matthau as an ex-professional baseball pitcher and part-time pool cleaner.
How's it going, Ogilvy?
Well, there's not enough pressure, but I'm adjusting the intake valve now.
Who agrees to coach a little league team of unskilled players in order to make a quick buck. While the character of Morris Buttermaker is one of Mathau's most beloved roles, the role was first offered to Steve McQueen and then Warren Beatty, but both turned the movie down. The film also starred veteran character actor Vic Morrow, future Oscar nominee Jackie Earle Haley, and actress Tatum O'Neal, who was known for her role in Paper Moon. The film proved to be a surprise success, grossing $42 million on only a $9 million budget, while also receiving praise from critics. The Bad News Bears received 2 sequels and a short-lived television show on CBS. The film was also remade in 2005, with Billy Bob Thornton taking over the role that Matthau made famous.
All right, guys, let's get one thing straight.
The Bad News Bears helped reignite America's love for baseball movies, carrying the genre into its most popular decade. We'll start the decade with 1980's The Comeback Kid, a made-for-TV rom-com starring John Ritter of Three's Company and the Partridge Family's Susan Dey. Not unlike the setup of The Bad News Bears, Ritter stars as a former minor league player who takes a job coaching an underprivileged team. Pay attention, and you may be able to spot a young Patrick Swayze. The comedy Blue Skies Again follows a young athlete attempting to make it onto a Major League Baseball team. The twist? The athlete is a woman.
Forget it, Liz.
Please, Dirk, will you just listen?
I'm not going to give a girl a tryout.
Robin Bartow, a real-life softball player, plays the lead, while Harry Hamlin and Mimi Rogers co-star. A young Andy Garcia also makes his film debut. As for Bartow, it was her first and last film appearance. Blue Skies Again is credited as the first big movie to star a female Major League Baseball player. NBC attempted to capitalize on the baseball genre by bringing it to television. The TV show Bay City Blues followed the lives of the players on a California minor league baseball team. Among the cast were Michael Nouri, Pat Corley, Ken Olin, Sharon Stone, and Dennis Franz. Unfortunately, the series immediately flopped, and only 4 of the 8 episodes made it to air. 27 years later, ESPN Classic acquired the rights to the show, and all 8 episodes were finally broadcast in 2011. The first movie to help legitimize the baseball genre in the 80s was the 1984 Oscar-nominated classic The Natural. The film was based on a popular book from 1954, which in turn was inspired by numerous real-life stories. One of the biggest inspirations was the life of Eddie Waitkiss, a baseball player who was shot by a crazed fan, and later returned to baseball a year later to lead the Philadelphia Phillies to the World Series. The film also contains elements surrounding King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table. It's no coincidence that in the film, Robert Redford plays for a team called the New York Knights. The film was a box office success, and it was nominated for 4 Oscars, making it one of cinema's most prestigious baseball movies.
Here's the pitch. It's hit the deep left center field.
I got a perfume on my bat.
The Slugger's Wife, a 1985 romantic comedy, told the story of Daryl Palmer, a baseball player portrayed by Michael O'Keefe, and how he falls in love with a popular rock star. Directed by filmmaker Hal Ashby and written by playwright Neil Simon, the film was a complete critical and commercial failure, grossing only $1.8 million on a $19 million budget.
Winning isn't everything, Burley.
A much better-known baseball rom-com is Bull Durham. Released in 1988, Bull Durham features a love triangle set against the backdrop of a season of minor league baseball. While the film stars Kevin Costner as the lead, the actor originally considered for the role of Crash Davis was Kurt Russell. Russell was actually a former minor league baseball player, and he helped the film's screenwriter, Ron Shelton, during his early days of writing the script. In fact, Shelton was a former minor league baseball player too, which is what inspired him to write Bull Durham. As for Costner, he too was experienced in baseball, playing on his high school team. Shelton received an Oscar nomination for Best Original Screenplay, and Susan Sarandon was nominated for a Golden Globe for Best Actress. The film was a surprise hit, grossing $50 million against a $9 million budget. The movie's popularity led to a sudden increase in interest in the real-life Durham Bulls, and the team experienced a massive boost in attendance shortly after the film's release. If you're a fan of Bull Durham and other 80s rom-coms, be sure to check out our episode on the genre, which features Moonstruck, Splash, The Princess Bride, and more. 1985's Brewster's Millions was the 7th movie based on the book of the same name, but it was one of the most successful adaptations. This version starred comedian Richard Pryor as a minor league baseball player who suddenly inherits $300 million, as long as he can spend $30 million in 30 days, all while keeping the entire deal a secret.
My lips are sealed. Lock them. Throw away the key like that. Hello, Drake. This is the way I'll talk.
John Candy co-stars as a catcher. Despite poor reviews, the film was a box office success. Spoilers ahead for The Naked Gun. If you don't want to be spoiled, skip ahead to the next movie. The 1982 crime comedy TV series Police Squad ran for only 6 episodes, but it led to 3 film spin-offs under the name The Naked Gun. Starring Leslie Nielsen, reuniting with the team behind Airplane, the first film featured a plot to assassinate the Queen of England during a Major League Baseball game at Anaheim Stadium.
Oh, excuse me. Could you tell me, is this an official bat?
The villains create a beeper that can hypnotize anyone into becoming the assassin. We soon learn that the target is not a crowd goer, but 5-time World Series champion Reggie Jackson. Also making cameos in the film are 5 real umpires, Major League Baseball player Jay Johnstone, as well as 6 real professional announcers.
I'm Kurt Gowdy, along with Jim Palmer, Tim McCarver, Dick Vitale, Mel Allen, Dick Enberg, and Dr. Joyce Brothers.
The Naked Gun was a success and is often ranked amongst cinema's greatest comedy films. It led to 2 sequels in the 90s and a reboot that debuted in August of 2025, with Liam Neeson portraying Nielsen's son. Amazing Grace and Chuck is a mostly forgotten film about a Little League baseball player who refuses to play baseball in protest of the existence of nuclear weapons in the world. The young boy's protest soon becomes national news, and it inspires a number of professional athletes. The film starred Joshua Zulke as the young boy, and it would be his only acting appearance after being picked from a pool of hundreds of teen actors. The cast also included William Peterson, Jamie Lee Curtis, Gregory Peck, and professional basketball player Alex English. The history of baseball is full of inspiring and heartwarming stories, but it also has a dark side. Director John Sayles explores one of those stories with 8 Men Out, a film about one of the biggest scandals in sports history, in which the Chicago White Sox intentionally threw the World Series. The film features a strong ensemble cast with Charlie Sheen, John Cusack, Christopher Lloyd, David Strathairn, Michael Rooker, and even director John Sayles himself. Mark Harmon, future NCIS star and former NCAA football player, starred in 1988's Stealing Home as a retired baseball player dealing with a number of traumatic events, mainly the death of his former sweetheart, played by Jodie Foster. While not a baseball movie per se, it is baseball that ultimately helps Harmon's character find meaning in life again. In 1989, Peter Masterson threw the baseball genre a curveball. Night Game is a horror slasher film that stars Roy Scheider as a detective and former minor league player investigating a string of murders that all have a mysterious connection to the results of Houston Astros games. The film takes us into the actual Astrodome, which was going through a renovation at the time. Charlie Sheen makes a second appearance on our list in the full-on comedy Major League. The movie featured real-life baseball teams, but the story was entirely fictional. In the movie, the new owner of the Cleveland Indians attempts to sabotage the team so she can move the franchise to Miami. Of course, our heroes don't let that happen. But strangely enough, Miami did receive a real MLB franchise only 4 years later. Making cameos in Major League were Steve Yeager, Bob Uecker, and Willie Mueller. It made $75 million worldwide, resulting in 2 sequels. If you put Kevin Costner in a baseball movie,
people will most definitely come.
Less than a year after Bull Durham, Kevin returned to the baseball genre, hitting another home run with Field of Dreams. But because he had already made Bull Durham only 1 year prior, Costner was not originally considered for the movie. The role was originally offered to Tom Hanks, but he declined. Costner soon got a hold of the script, and after reading it, thought it could be his generation's It's a Wonderful Life. The film crew shot all of the interior scenes first. This was because the cornfield that borders the baseball field in the film is real, and it took longer than expected for the corn to grow. After filming, the owner of the famed baseball field decided to keep it intact for tourists. Since then, over 65,000 people have visited the property. In 2021, the New York Yankees and the Chicago White Sox became the first teams to play a regular season game at the property. Guest appearing at the special event was none other than Costner himself. After a game-changing decade for baseball films, and with the 90s on deck, you might think that baseball movies were ready to foul out. But the genre was just getting started. In the 1940s, baseball, which had been enjoying immense popularity, encountered a setback. As America entered World War II, many of the MLB's top players found themselves fighting overseas, causing men's baseball to become almost non-existent. To fill the gap, women's baseball was introduced with the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, which operated from 1943 to 1954.
On the home front, they find them everywhere. North, east, south, and west, and even Canada. Players for the new All-American Girls Baseball League.
The story of this league was showcased several decades later. In the summer of 1992, A League of Their Own was released to massive success. Star Gina Davis was cast in the lead role only a few days before production began, so she had to train vigorously in a short amount of time in order to portray lead ball player Dottie Hinson. Grossing over $130 million at the box office, the film became an instant classic for moviegoers. The movie eventually inspired 2 separate television shows, but sadly, both ran less than 10 episodes apiece. Throughout the 90s, baseball films began to gravitate toward the family film genre. The most popular offered a change-up. It wasn't about professional baseball, but about the kids who played it in their backyards. 1993's The Sandlot.
You're killing me, Smalls.
While set in the San Fernando Valley in California, the entire movie was filmed in Utah. While The Sandlot had a lukewarm box office run, its popularity has grown over the years and still continues to resonate with fans of all ages. Baseball movies began to slow down at the turn of the century, but the tradition has continued. From The Rookie, to Fever Pitch, to Moneyball, to the 80s set film Everybody Wants Some, and of course, countless more Kevin Costner movies.
Guess what? You're a baseball star.
Alright, well that wraps up our episode on the baseball movie boom of the 1980s. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your favorite baseball movie from our list? Did we miss any? Leave us a comment.
We gotta stay in touch.
Remember to give us a like and subscribe to this channel to be the first when we post new content. Also be sure to check out our online shop and support our team, shop.80semporium.com. Thanks for watching. And remember,
There's no crying in baseball. There's no crying in baseball!
What's the matter, Jimmy?
What? She's crying, sir.